Hi everyone. So not long ago I had asked people to drop movie and book titles, and that way I can find stuff that I haven't read or watched, or maybe have a discussion about what I think about it between the video and the comments. So, those would be fun. So I didn't get a whole lot actually of questions. Sorry, my hair is like, I just washed my hair, so it's like all over the place. But I figured I'd just make the video because I'm bored. I'm waiting for my hair to dry, waiting to go to work, and yeah. So here we go. I think maybe once I reach 300 subs, maybe I'll do like a full Q&A or something like that, or something fun. But somehow keeps going up and down, so yeah. Hopefully, eventually, I will get to the 300 mark. So I'm going to start with the book one. And I want to go in order of the comments, how they appear on the comment section. So Michael from Catalyst Reads asked, have you read any books by Clive Barker or anything written by R.L. Stine that is not from his Goosebumps series? I have not read Clive Barker at all. I'm not sure I ever want to because I'm pretty sure he's the guy behind Hellraiser, and that just thinking about that movie makes me sick to my stomach. I'm not a big gore person or gross out person. There's like one of the later seasons of Family Guy I can't even barely stand, and I usually love that show just because I thought the gross out factor in those episodes were just ridiculous and kind of for shock value. Sorry, I'm drinking a Snapple, everybody. But yeah, I'm not sure I have any interest. I mean, I'll probably read someone like Stephen King and R.L. Stine for scary stuff, kids scary stuff, and regular scary stuff. For Goosebumps, I have read Superstitious. I mean, not Goosebumps, but R.L. Stine, his non-Goosebumps stuff. I read Superstitious when I was a lot younger. I don't remember a whole lot about it because I was, like I said, much younger. I want to say part of it was set maybe in Ireland or something like that. I know it was somewhere in Europe, England or something like that. Or one of them was among one of those nationalities. And I think it was about this guy who was really superstitious, and he talked about the demons of superstition and this and that. I would probably understand it a whole lot more now at the age I am, but it was one of the first like adult books that I read, so I probably didn't really grasp a lot of it. And reading someone like R.L. Stine in the Goosebumps series, which is basically middle grade, I don't think you can even really call it young adult half the time. Going from that to something more adult-like, especially when I wasn't really an adult yet. So I don't think I really grasped the story. I remember liking it okay, and I would probably reread it eventually because I probably understand it a lot more. But at the time, I really didn't enjoy it as much as the Goosebumps series. But like I said, my opinion might change. I was also reading Call Waiting, and I basically DNF'd it, and that's kind of hard to DNF an R.L. Stine book that's meant for teens or young adults because most of them are under 200 pages or 200 something at the max. But I was so disappointed with this one. The protagonist or the main character, whatever the hell you want to call it, was just so annoying. Oh my god. And she was just so whiny, and I'm like, this guy wrote a lot of my favorite books as a kid because I was super into Goosebumps and everything. But this one is just awful. I may go and finish the book because I kind of like to finish things, but I would not recommend it at all. So the Mommy Bookworm asked, have you read Swan Song by Robert McCammon, I think that's how you say it. Definitely one of my favorite books. No, I have not. In fact, I am going to go. What was it called? Swan Song. I have not, and I will have to look that up. If my Google does not take forever and a half. But I always like to find books that I've never heard of because while I love a lot of the popular books, and some of my absolute favorites are, it's like, I don't know, just, there's a lot more books out there that are really good that just aren't getting the attention that they need because they're not part of the trend. And I'm sorry, a lot of things in literature lately, especially in YA, even though a lot of my favorites are YA, are usually based upon trends. So Swan Song is in 1987, which is cool because that's the year I was born. Horror novel by American novelist Robert R. McCammon. It's a work of post-apocalyptic fiction describing the aftermath of a nuclear war that provokes a revolution in humankind. Definitely something I would read because technically my favorite book slash trilogy for now deals with violence, and they live in a post-apocalyptic society, really, and all that other kind of stuff. So I haven't read all of them, but I am definitely a dystopian post-apocalyptic person, I guess you would say. So yeah, definitely I'm going to be checking that book out. And where is it? Todd from Todd the Librarian asked, "Hey Stephanie, have you ever read Carrie by Stephen King?" Yes, I have. And the thing about Carrie is, like, I've seen I think there's only 3 movies, isn't there? Like, the original and the 2 remakes. The first remake was horrific. The acting was horrible. I did like the fact that they added more that was in the book than the original did, because it cut out a lot of things. But yeah, that one, the made-for TV one, was horrible. I did like the remake with Chloe Grace Moretz, I think that's her name, but I found the whole video YouTube thing kind of unnecessary. I mean, I get it, it's a remake, it's a different generation, but I think it was just a little too much. We just really didn't need it. The book itself, though, I'm going to say something about all 3 movies versus the book. And this goes mainly for the original and the recent remake that was made just a few years ago. I feel that the movies themselves are a little bit more on the drama side, whereas the book was a little bit more creepy in a way. I think Carrie would make like a good horror comic or graphic novel. I think it would translate pretty good, the way it's written. And I've listened to The Shining, and I've listened to The Bazaar of Bad Dreams, and you can definitely tell Carrie is a beginning novel. I want to say, compared to what I'm starting to read from King versus the movies, is that they're a little bit more of an atmospheric horror in a way, if that's the best way to describe it, versus how the movies are. there's a lot more detail and feeling and character development and just character traits and everything in the book than what you get out of the movies. But that's a lot of movies, really, when it comes to book to movie adaptations and, translating it to the screen. But I did enjoy the book, but I would, just by the little I've read, I wouldn't say it's among its best. And at least that's what I hear and what I'm starting to realize. So, now I will go to the movies. Okay. So, Michael from Catalyst Reads asks, what are your thoughts on movies made by Tim Burton? Mars Attacks, Sleepy Hollow, Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, etc. I usually really like his style. I am a person that is somewhat alternative, gothic-like and everything, so I like that fun, spooky stuff, but yeah, like it's just fun and spooky, and a lot of sometimes, there is more emotional parts, and I think that really plays well with that kind of dark scenery too, such as The Nightmare Before Christmas is very, I think if you're into, gothic literature or darker poetry or poetry in general, in art, I think that's really a good movie to watch because some people have said it's kind of tedious to watch, which I guess it can be. It can seem very long, but if you're into music and art and stuff like that, and into kind of the creepy stuff, that's really a good one. But I think something like The Corpse Bride is a bit more dramatic, a bit more sad and emotional and everything, and sometimes, depending on your mood, that can be a better movie to watch. And Beetlejuice is just pure fun, of course. Mars Attacks was ridiculous, but fun. Todd the Librarian asked, have you ever watched H.P. Lovecraft's From Beyond? No, I have not. It came out in 1986. Yes, I picked something that's rather obscure. No, I have not. And I have not read Lovecraft either. So, being that it's recommended among the alternative crowd, and I believe he created Cthulhu, right? Or Cthulhu, or whatever, how you say it. And that's like one of my favorite episodes in South Park, because, they parody everything. So I should get on to reading some Lovecraft. And then the Kilty Goth asked, what's your review, Argus, view on The Craft 1996? And what's your views on the possible sequel to Labyrinth? I've never really been big into Labyrinth or anything like that. I watched the movie and I thought it was okay, but it really wasn't my thing. But again, maybe if I had, if I were to watch it again, maybe I'd get something more out of it. But I really don't have any thoughts on the sequel because I don't have too many thoughts on the original movie. The Craft is among one of my favorite movies. It does not portray the craft or paganism or anything like that to the truest, form or degree, but it is a fun movie. I do like that they did take, elements of the actual religions or beliefs and put them in the movie, stuff about nature and the elements and stuff like that, and calling the corners, but it is fiction. Real witches cannot do that kind of thing. It is more about being in a balance with nature and everything. But, you know, it's supernatural. It does talk about an alternative or a pagan type faith. And goth chicks and everything. So, you know, it's a fun watch. But anyways, that is my have you read, watched video. Anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.